And hello everyone, this is Dubious Physics coming to you with Satisfactory. I am checking out Update 5 on the experimental branch. I believe it's confirmed that Update 5 will be landing in the regular early access branch this Tuesday on the 23rd, so very exciting stuff. The update's been looking great so far, and I am looking forward to playing more of it, and hopefully not having to constantly feed the biomass burners to avoid my entire setup turning off, because I have decided to slightly overinvest in automating a bunch of things before I have enough power for it. But, yes, that's enough rambling. Intro, it's great to see you folks. Hope you are all doing okay today. And, well, it is high time I got down to it. So, without too much further ado, I should check how much power is in the burners. That's grateful for a reasonable amount of power. A bunch of leaves are still being processed into biomass. Okay, so far so good on that front. So I think I can take a bit of time to do some more coal scouting. My main objective for today's stream is going to be getting a basic coal power setup. Oh, a bit of a hitch there. I think there was a loading hitch. Loading in all this terrain here. It's looking real good. Oh hey, that's a crash site I didn't spot before. So, if I do a coal scan, I get pings over in that direction. At the end of my spontaneous stream last night, I did scout out that area a little bit, and I believe there's a single pure coal node. And I guess there's water not too far away, so it's not infeasible to get that set up. But I want to scout out a couple more of the coal nodes in that direction, just in case there's something obvious I've missed that would be a better coal setup location. Also, I'm not sure if you're hearing a cat in the background, but there is a cat in the background that wants you all to know that she is the coolest, cutest cat in existence, and you should all worship her. I believe that is I'm pretty sure that's the verbatim translation of what I'm getting in the background. Is that right, cat? Yeah, that's about right. Okay. Well, this next milestone would be nice and straightforward to do, so I'm just going to plug in the resources for that. I believe there are some hostile creatures around the area, around the coal area that I was scouting out before, so that is going to be necessary, I think. I think it's going to be necessary to poke around there, unfortunately. Is this not drawing, or is it bottlenecked? Okay, it might have been bottlenecked. I'll stop displaying for a bit. I'm probably also going to build a ramp down here to that quartz area down below, and from there down to the coal node, rather than going around through the other terrain. A more direct route will be beneficial if I eventually need to hook that back up to the factory. At least that's my thinking for now. And finally, something I wanted to check. There is a global grid now, and I do not no, my factory does not align with the global grid. That's a really nice feature that they added, incidentally, is when you're free placing your initial foundations. I think they added this maybe a little bit after, or at least I didn't know it existed when I started with Update 5. But you can hold down the snap button by default control to snap your construction to the global grid, and that's really handy for essentially if you're building foundation setups in multiple locations. You can use that to make sure the foundations all snap consistently to the same location. so all snap consistently to the same grid, rather, to rephrase, which is pretty fantastic for making sure everything lines up. It's a really neat thing to have. I will not be able to fully utilize it without completely tearing this down and rebuilding it, so cool stuff for next time. Cool stuff for next time. Okay, I'm gonna grab one stack of the leaves here and process that into biomass as well. I can do it a bit faster than the machine can. And I'm also gonna process all the wood I have on hand into biomass, and then just get this setup pumping out solid fuel while I'm away, so that I don't come back to having to manually prep solid fuel for everything. Biomass, biomass, there we go. It's gonna take a bit. But, well, it is worth it. I do craft a little faster than the machine. I suppose I should take this opportunity to hydrate a little. It's, perhaps a bit of a cliche by now, but do remember to hydrate, folks. You're absolutely worth it. Water is generally good for you. In many respects. Okay, there's a little bit of wood left over to deposit. How is the leaf processing going? Still going into the machine there? Okay, fine. I'll pull the remaining leaves out. Okay, and you can now make solid biofuel. Grab the biomass out of that. One full stack of biomass to go. And let's make sure that's a conveyor belt Mark II that's feeding. Then that's conveyor Mark II that's drawing. Excellent. So that's all fine. It's probably quickest, if time is a concern, for me to manually make the biomass from things, and then just feed the biomass into machine set to make solid fuel. I could actually put more constructors together here, if needed, of course. Okay. That will do for now, and I can probably gather some more wood while I'm out. I am going to need 25 rotors. Let's see what I will need to make 25 rotors. I wonder if there's a shortcut for oh, there it... well, you can... Okay, that's 10 at a time. I didn't know that. You can hold down shift. I wonder what control does. No, control just does one, but you can hold down shift to add or remove 10 at a time, which is handy. I am going to need a lot more screws and iron rods. Duly noted. I can grab them from some of these machines, I imagine. Why are you backed up? Are these not hooked up? No. They're backed up on this end. On extraction. I mean, that's good for me technically. I'll come grab the screws from here lately. But I'm gonna hop upstairs and see what's blocked. Because these machines... I would expect the machines here on this side to be backed up of anything, because these are the ones supplying the reinforced iron plate production. And they should be the ones, halting at the moment, if those plates are not immediately needed. As I have a full container of plates and only some of them are being drawn off. But, what's going on here? You working at 100%? Yes. As assembler, are you working at 100%? Yes, we're making as 4 smart plating a minute steadily. Rotors. Rotors. Rotor production should be at 4 a minute steadily. Yeah, no spares. How about you? Okay, so the reinforced iron plate... Oh, right, I have, that's why the screws are backing up, because I have many machines where... I forgot how much reinforced iron plate production I had going. That's on me. Okay, I usually miss that. Okay, I need screws and iron rods. So I should go and check over here, probably in these machines. 500 screws. And another 500 or so screws should do it. Then I can grab some iron rods from downstairs. Let's go from this machine. 200 iron rods, and another 200 for my own construction efforts. That shouldn't slow down these machines much at all, realistically, as they are being fed consistently with the amount of rods they require. I could have made some stuff with the iron ingots in there. Don't really need to right now, though. Okay, I can now make 25 rotors. That was less trouble than I was expecting, which is good. I'm expecting potentially a little more trouble down at the copper end. I'm actually going to have to set up a few extra constructors, I think, because I don't want to manually make all of the iron sheets I'm going to need for the pipes, or the copper sheets rather, I'm going to need for the pipes to deliver water to the coal-fired power plants, and I am going to need quite a few pipes to deliver water to the aforementioned coal-fired power plants. So I'm not sure if I'm going to swap over the quick jury rig there, or just add a split to the quick jury rig to make some copper sheets. I definitely don't want to have a full manufacturing setup in place there just yet. For one thing, I don't have the power automation to run that kind of setup. Don't mind me rambling at myself and forgetting to actually stop making rotors. It's fine, it's all fine. Know what I'm doing. Zoom zoom. Okay, I need 1,500 wires. That's almost all of the wires in storage. That is a lot of wires. This needs... I'm gonna grab 2 stacks of cable from here. Now, I've downclocked this to the output of 1 smelter. I should maybe consider another smelter worth of output. And that would require me to move the smelters a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to bite the bullet and get this adjusted. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. I need a splitter. Still going to be a quick and dirty setup. Going to be drawing 60 iron ore a minute, splitting 30 off for 1 smelter over here. And we're actually 15 off, isn't it? Yeah, this smelter, gonna do copper ingots, target production rate of 15 a minute. Let's get that hooked up. Get the power for that hooked up too. Bit of an awkward power setup there, but it'll do for now. And then just another quick and dirty smelter and another quick and dirty smelter and assembler setup, or constructor setup. Okay, making copper ingots. And I need... let's break down this cable. Wait, is that not... I think I broke down the wrong cable. Break down this cable. That'll do for now. One constructor. Sure, put it on legs, fine. The belt has an invalid shape. Let's try that again. I think it needs to be lined up a little differently to allow the output to line up. It's better. And you need to be making copper sheets. 20 copper ingots a minute. I believe the power hookup is on this side, or will be in a moment. And we'll daisy chain that over. Okay, 20 copper ingots a minute, you're making copper sheets. And I am going to throw together a container for that all to get shoved into. A very rough setup here. Okay, so this only needs to produce 20 copper ingots a minute. Meaning that's 20 copper ore a minute plus 15 copper ore a minute, so that's our draw here. 20 plus 15, and that is 35. And that should eventually even out to the amount of copper we need. It'll just take a bit of time. But hopefully I'll have some copper sheets ready to grab when I next swing by here. Alright, let's head on then. Some of the solid biofuel should be ready by now, and I should be able to plug in some of these wires. Go ahead and send the freighter up. Let's go. More inventory slots. The weapon is handy too, I guess, but more importantly, inventory slots.
Dimension added an additional hand equipment slot and have provided an improved Xeno Zapper with increased strength and range.
Up you go. Okay. I may as well select a new milestone as well. Most of these require extra automation and systems to become useful. So, well, basic steel production is going to be the next main one. Vehicular transport may come in handy in the meantime. I would like the inventory slots, so I'm going to queue that as well. Means I am going to need 100 rotors and 25 modular frames. I should have the resources to make the modular frames straight up, so I'll go ahead and get that assembled. Dum-de-dum. And then I will figure out... See, apparently I've got some... I must have some copper ingots on me. Oh, and a bunch of copper ore, okay. So if really needed, I can just make myself more copper sheets on the fly. For now. I am going to need more resources to make 100 rotors, though. Let me see, so 100 rotors for the to-do list. There we go. Knowing that I can hold down shift is quite handy. Okay, it's the modular frames ready. I think I have some frames I could have pulled from here just to make things an even number, because I used up one before. And well, I'll put those frames away for now. And I'll leave the copper ingots and the copper ore in here for the moment. This is still processing biomass into solid biofuel quick as it can go. That's good. How are the burners doing? That burner's fine. Okay, let's grab this biofuel and do a burner top up. Ah, the freighter's back. Or is it? Oh, yes it is. I was looking at the wrong place. That was actually a pretty quick return on the freighter's part, I think. Welcome back, little guy. Let's fuel up all of the 8 big biomass burners as well. I may not have enough biofuel for all of them, actually. Just enough, I think. Actually not quite. These can only be partially filled. I'll have to remember not to be quite so cocky with my refueling in the future. Okay, 2,500 screws and 500 iron rods. So let's get a bunch of screws out of these machines. Jump, jump, jump. Just collecting what I need. I'll need some more screws from up top as well in a bit. I'll review that later, because for now, let's grab these modular frames. Go ahead, plug those in, put the rest back into storage. Plug in the cables easily. I'm gonna need a bunch more iron rods as well. And additionally, what I was going to do was go take a look in the equipment workshop and get my self-defense option, like my basic singular self-defense option, slightly upgraded. Okay. So I've got the hang on. Have I not done the... That should have done the... Right, I completed the milestone improved melee combat. That gets the Xeno Basher. Oh, here it is. Here I missed it. I need 5 modular frames and 2 Xeno Zappers. In addition to what I have on hand. Well, that's another Xeno Zapper. And... What's the button to manually split a stack again? Oh, it's hold down right click, there we go. Not that I need to, that's the stack split I need. I just need to unequip this because you can't craft something that's in your equip slots. And I'm going to need more wire. Let's go get some more. Actually, I can just grab the wire or the copper from here and use that to make some more wire. Need 500 wire total. Should be just fine. There we go. One Xeno Basher. has a little keychain on it. Okay, that will have to do. Now let's process some of this copper while I run a little bit of head maths. Okay, if I grab the slug, as long as I make sure I have enough to throw down a craft bench at the other end, I can probably just take a bunch of the copper with me as well. I think I'm gonna need a lot of additional wire, however. And I still don't have any of the heal recipes yet. I might try and scout the spider cave again and see if more spiders have made their presence known. Although it seems they have decided not to show up to the party especially enthusiastically. I'll make it stop there. I don't think I have much solid fuel on me. Go ahead and grab some more from this machine. How is manufacturing? Okay, that biomass is almost done processing. That's right, that means more biomass is needed. So fill up these burners, 1 and 2. And that leaves 69 parts of solid biofuel for the chainsaw, which is nice. I say as I almost jump up a cliff. Fun times. Okay, no new nuts there. Let's grab some wire, grab some cable, grab some copper sheets. See if I can offload this iron ore to any of these machines. There you go. Oh, this copper ore. Now there was a spider cave around here somewhere. Ooh, pale berries. Maybe eventually I will be able to eat pale berries. Ah. Okay. Chainsaw. Hopefully this does not remove the paleberry plant. It would be very unfortunate if it did. Good. It did not. Just going to grab a little bit more wood around here. So I will need to power things soon enough. Ooh, pale berries. That really would have been cut down if, so as long as you don't aim explicitly at the paleberry bush, you won't cut it down. That's good. I would have been very sad otherwise. Right then. Right. Gonna check in this cave again. Apparently there was some mycelia. I'm gonna try these. Okay. Now there's nothing droppable there apparently. But Cecilia was able to find some stuff in here. Some mycelia. So
Picking up multiple Fix-It personnel in the area. Proceed with harvest before it's too late.
That really is some intriguing dialogue they've added to that thing. Okay. There's nothing really for me in this cave. Maybe I've built close enough to it to suppress the spider spawns. Or maybe those ones are really a one-time thing. Any rate. Ooh. Barrel nuts. I think I can probably justify eating some barrel nuts here. Nom 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 nom. Oh right, that's the dialogue for that. Okay. Got some copper products over. I can return to this station. Offload some of these bits and pieces. Flower petals, pale berries, and wood. Let's process the wood and the leaves quickly into biomass, and then I'll go ahead and feed that into the machine. I wonder, I get 5 biomass per crafting tick here, and 40 or 20 for 2 crafting ticks, 10 per. Okay, so wood is definitely faster biomass crafting, even for normal crafting. So that's good to know. But I can still get a fair bit out of the leaves too. Right. Let's get the leaves and the wood into storage. Biomass into here. And I am going to make one. I'm gonna need 2 portable miners. One for actual use as a portable miner, and one for making a miner Mark 1. There you go. I also need a ton more iron rods and screws. Let's get them. Screws. Screws. One more machine of screws. There we go. And then if I head downstairs, let's grab some iron rods out of these machines. One, two, 3, and 4 stacks of iron rods. That'll do for now. Do I really want to craft 100 rotors on the spot? You know what? I'm going to craft 100 rotors on the spot. This is going to be a fantastic time to go to a break, so that is what I shall do. Thank you very much for watching, folks. I will be back with hopefully 100 rotors. In the meantime, do remember to take care of yourselves, hydrate, stretch, grab some food if you need to. You are absolutely worth it. I will see you after the break. And we're back. Thanks for sticking around, folks. Well, those rows are crafted. I am hydrated. Out of game, at least. Don't know so much about in-game just yet. And I am going to need more iron rods. Okay, I can plug these into the machine at least, but I'm going to need a bunch more iron rods. Be able to look at these machines. They may have some extras in their output hoppers. There we go. Ah, this one's empty. Empty as well. They've been draining steadily. How about in your input hoppers? Drain 1. 2 machines worth. It's nice and clean. Nice and clean. There's a little bit there. And a little bit. That may hit the efficiency of those machines a little bit until the manifold fills back up. Should be fine. let's get these all loaded and go.
Milestone reached. Long-range transportation, as well as the construction of outposts, is now encouraged. Vehicle stations have built-in functionality to refuel and restock or collect parts.
I am actually looking forward to getting to use the updated vehicles, although it's not a huge pressing need for me to do so at the moment. I should go ahead and set steel production as the next milestone. And I think it's finally time for me to go and do the thing I said I would do at the start, and go build a ramp down to the quartz output here. Let's see. If I zoom from here, how does it look? Well, I am going to need more concrete apparently. I'm glad you can connect ramps like that now, even if it might not be my favorite look aesthetically. It is a fantastic look for the like fantastically useful for the ramps to behave like that in general. Okay, I can grab several additional stacks of concrete. I'm gonna need that for new foundations, I think. Even when I'm not just ramping to the quartz, I'm gonna take a little bit of damage there. I should not have jumped. I was a little overeager. It's not exactly going to be the safest ramp in history, but hey. I keep forgetting you cannot walk on unbuilt things. Oh, and there is a hostile thing down here. Right, yes. Okay. Well, the ramp exists at least. There are multiple hostile things down here. It duly noted. Maybe I should eat some. Ow. Yes, I appear to be missing all of my health. I am going to... Oh, I almost fell off there. Let's make a foundation layer. I'm going to go eat like a pale berry or something, or several. Once my health regenerates. I believe it regenerates up to 3 pips. Is there anything in my inventory to drop off here? Not right at the moment. That was very uncomfortable. I'm going to eat some pale berries. As much as I'd loathe to diminish my pale berry reserve. Ah, the beta's back. Okay, back to work. I am going to have to clear out the other fire-breathing creature from this domain. And then figure out the quartz stuff around here. I do not know how to time or move around those so they don't hit you. Maybe I'll figure it out at some point. There's not much point in collecting this limestone deposit, but I'll remove it anyway because its presence will bug me otherwise. Okay, there is more limestone in that deposit than I realized. There we go. Leaves, flower petals. It's iron ore in there. Barrel nuts, fancy. Okay. Feel obligated to clear this iron ore deposit as well. And though the ore will just sit around in my inventory a bit. Well, let's get this deployed. Portable miners are very cute. Ooh. May as well gather up this Caterium ore as well. That'll be useful research. I might want to scan for more of it as well at some point. These are destroyable rocks, although not with the equipment I have on me currently. That tree gave a lot of flower petals. And not much wood. Hello, what was okay? Fine then. If you insist. I'm going to have to eat some barrel nuts. Let's get the coal scanning going. Okay, it's just 60 meters this way, down this little embankment, and stuff may have respawned around it. Also, let's get a little bit more wood. Now, I did want to go 300 meters out that direction. Take a look at the coal there too. Because as far as I can tell, this coal over here is just a lone pure node, and that's fine, I can do a lot with one pure node, but I'm wondering... It's not an amazing node, it's a little far from the water. There's hostile creatures still guarding stuff around it, etc, etc. Speaking of hostile creatures, I am really not very well equipped to fight that right now. Maybe if I ate a pale berry or two, which I kind of don't want to do. Fine, I'll eat the pale berries. Because I think I'll need to clear this area sooner or later. Yeah, it's just so quick when I'm in melee range, I can't... Well, got rid of it. Oh, that's an interesting... I'm guessing that's artifacting from the fireball. Am I going to be able to collect any of its organs? I'll tell you what, I'm at least gonna put down a, a crafting bench here. So hopefully that stops it from respawning. Because I am going to need to use this embankment to convey stuff down to the water. Come to think of it, I don't know if embankment is strictly the right term there, but that's where conveyor belts to water gotta be. And also, we've got bees. Oh frick, there's another big one. Okay, I'm leaving. I don't have the health for this. I need inhalers. I need medicine. But I lack the technology. Okay. So, simple first step then is going to be conveying the coal down to the water. I should have put a, actually I did build stuff there, near the quartz deposits. So if I put a miner mark 1 here, and this is going to be on its own power grid. Going to be extracting 120 coal a minute. I wonder, what if I... Okay, what if I tried some global grid snap stuff here? So that's all snapped to the global grid. And then can I get a miner on top of these? No, it has to be a little bit too high. Might consider miner on foundation alignment in the future. But for now, it can just be on its own. Miner mark 1 pointed vaguely this way. Conveyor mark 2 running it down towards the water. Actually, I usually like using stackable conveyor poles for this, but I don't know how that, yeah, that floats a little bit in the environment, and that's gonna bug me. Then again, the regular conveyor pole also floats a bit. Or does it? I think it does, but it's a lot less noticeable. Now, let's get some global grid foundations going down below. Those above water level, I believe they are. Should be global grid aligned. And I should be able to say it to them shortly. I would also like to pillar these. They go down to the water bottom. That's not going to be the easiest to achieve, but there we go. That's one done. Oh, I'm also going to need some ramps. This side, can I please hang on, let me settle above the water. Yeah, okay. The game does not like you being in water. Swim on the surface. Technically you can be below the surface, but I don't think there's a way to explicitly move that way. And you can't use any of your stuff in the water. Okay, I'll just have to leave that as is for now. Stuff's souped up that way. Souped up the other way as well. Be a good amount of water to work with here. And how far is that coal deposit I was thinking about? 249 meters that way. We'll go take a look, see what it looks like, and potentially get accosted by hostile wildlife, as these things go. Leaves. Okay, definitely hostile wildlife on that island. There's power slug and a bunch of aleberries there too, though. So that's worth keeping in mind. Those paleberries don't seem like they'll be unguarded. These ones here, but I'll try to get to them. Hey, paleberries, nice. More leaves. Oh, a bacon mushroom. I need you for research. In fact, let me pull out the scanner then. Oh, I can't scan for bacon mushrooms. So I haven't done the initial bacon mushroom research yet. Fine. Berries! Okay, so this is the core node we were looking at. This area is very coal rich. There's a bunch of coal over there, I see. Okay. So the whole place is extra coal rich. And I could probably pretty easily funnel the coal over to... It would be a bit of a longer distance. Might be worth trucking it over. Oh, hey! Hey! It's Lizard Doggo. Is it Cecilia? Is it the one we know? Hang on, let me get a nice bite-sized portion for you. Come. No. Come on, come on. Make friends. Where'd they go? There you are. Come on. No, not the other. None of those. This works. Rand? Let's get you a few more berries. Come on. Maybe the beeping. Come on. Over here. Yes. You a friend? Yeah! You're a friend. Good friend. Check around for more pale berries quickly. And get back to work, I suppose. Let you frolic. And thrive, hopefully. In spite of our regional activities. I do need to figure out a good source of mycelia. I wonder if these mushroom spires do it. Not really. Okay. Pets! I need to get a tool to put in my one slot that's not a weapon. Which means I should find some Caterium for research as well. Okay. Let's get back to the initial call setup, I suppose. And I will see what I can figure out from there. Swim faster, dang it. Faster. Let's quickly put a foundation over here. That way I can slip one in underneath the ramp. I might be able to do that for the other side. Just create a block of foundations that go down to the down to the riverbed, I suppose. And make this feel, at least to me, a bit more embedded. Also another ramp in case I fall down and can't get up. Which is perhaps potentially a theme of mine. Right, so 120 coal a minute can run, rather I'll start with 60. 60 coal a minute can run 4 coal generators powered by, it's supplied by 3 water extractors. I believe you need 15 coal a minute for each coal generator, and if memory serves, some 75 cubic meters of water a minute. Although I should probably verify those numbers rather than just kind of trying to conjure them out of my head. I think we can pull back a little bit on this side. Giant block out this way. Okay, I should also have a reception ready for a conveyor lift. I don't know exactly how high that needs to be. But it does hook up, which kind of covers what I needed it to. That's good. Although I realize I probably shouldn't be using a conveyor lift, but now at least I actually want the conveyor to come down directly, so that I can walk back up it. So how far out does this need to be before the conveyor belt not to be too steep? Okay, somewhere around there. Right, well this gets the coal to the water. Fantastic. Progress. Gotta remember to downclock that to 60 for now. And got a bunch of leaves and flower petals and things to run them back to the base, and then I should pick up some copper sheets, pipes and the like. Also the quartz and other research items. Quartz. On that note, I should also keep an eye out Caterium, or other nearby deposits of that, if any. Apparently there aren't many nearby. Good to know. Well, let's get this quartz in for study. Good to be home. Let's get this stuff plugged in. Right to the MAM. Do I have enough mycelia? No, I don't think I have enough mycelia to do this fancy medicinal scan. It's a shame because that's an important step. Caterium, I'm gonna need some more ore. I think I'm almost ready for a nutritional inhaler, which is nice. I'll go ahead and scan the bacon mushroom, which will probably just give me the ability to scan for bacon mushrooms. Yeah. Quartz. Well, I can research silica manufacturing, which will be useful down the line. Okay, let's put away some of the leaves and wood. And quartz. Actually, take the leaves out. Quartz, okay. And let's make some biomass. Especially with the wood I have on me, I should be able to make a fair bit of biomass. Oh, I have no room. Very well, now put the leaves away. And take the wood out. And put more of the leaves away. By the way, biomass. Okay, manufacturing more solid fuel, that's good. Let's get all this wood turned into biomass. There we go. Biomass going to there. I have altogether too many flower petals. And I need to turn these leaves into biomass. Flower petals get to storage, alien organs get to storage. Anything else that needs to go into storage? Deuterium ore for now. Iron ore and limestone. I could potentially use for some things, I'll just shove them in this box here. More biomass. Let's get this all wired up. Not wired up, but processed. Chopped. Or I don't know if chopping it is something I'm actually doing. But it's being turned into mushy stuff. And then being turned into logs, I suppose. Okay. Almost to the last stack of leaves. There we go. More biomass, fuel production, some stuff into there. Pale berries in there. I think I am going to have to eat some of the pale berries. Let's just get back up to a little below full health. Because I will need to head back out at some point, and I think some things will be unhappy with me when I do. Right, research. Quartz and Deuterium ore were the things I had enough of here and there, I think. So... Oh. Right, the quartz stuff I could do is already done, pretty much. Get a bit more coal for that. I need more mycelia. Any of these things. Okay, I can get the recipe for Deuterium ingots, at least. And, get some other useful things. How much Deuterium ore do I have on me? 32. And that doesn't make very many Deuterium ingots. I'll leave it in ingot form for now. It might stack up better, sorry, in ore form for now. It might stack up better in ingot form, but I don't really know that just yet. Okay, on to more work. I am going to need 3 water extractors. And 8 coal generators. Among various other things, but those are the main big ones, I suppose. At least I have enough in copper sheets to make them straight up. I'm going to be able to get the reinforced iron plate, no problem. I will probably have to make the rotors myself. So I need to make 90 more rotors. Okay, screws, iron rods, the usual drill. Grab them from these machines. Okay, that's probably enough screws and iron rods. I'll head upstairs to grab some reinforced iron plate. Oh wait, it's out here, isn't it? It's out in this container. I'll grab 2 stacks of that. And let's make those rotors. Now once again, I don't think I can quite make enough rotors. I might need to make a few more screws. But once again, it's probably a good time for a break here, as I wait for this large quantity of rotors to very meticulously craft. Thank you very much for coming by, you all. There will be more. For now, do remember to take care of yourselves, hydrate, stretch, grab a I was gonna say grab some food if you need to. You are absolutely worth it. I'll see you after the break. 5 minutes or so. And we're back. Thank you for sticking around, folks. Got more of Satisfactory Experimental Update 5 for you all. I've just finished crafting this giant batch of rotors, which is not actually for the basic steel production milestone, but rather is to attempt to get some of this coal power online, as I once again begin the perilous journey down to the coal system. Hopefully I remember to bring enough basic things to get the coal generators actually stacked up in place and figure those out. I should also grab quartz from this miner, and I better beacon the I better beacon the core node just for reference in the future. Oh no, flower petals. More flower petals. Always more flower petals. At least there are pale berries here. Okay, so this is the one core node I will be relying on for now. Beaconing that. That is a pure core node. All marked up. Extraction is set. Got a basic conveyor lineup. And slash ramp, taking it down to the water, and this is where grid setup shall begin. Now I'm actually inclined, perhaps a little unusually for me, I'm not actually inclined to... I am going to attempt to convince myself not to do my ridiculous kind of overcomplicated feed setup, and instead rely on a manifold feed for the call system, because in theory it should run smoothly and it should never have to actually restart, in theory, so that should work fine. Hello Venus, welcome to the stream, great to have you. Hope you're doing well this afternoon. I believe it's afternoon for you. You can actually ride on the conveyor belts, and they do, just like in Factorio, they do double as one of the game's important transport systems. Although they are, I believe they're not as outright quick as they are in Factorio. They're generally a fair bit slower. But they are useful for transportation, and especially early game, you generally find yourself using them as ramps a lot to get up and down places. Like, well, I'm using that one there for that purpose. But typically later on in Satisfactory, simply because you have other transport options and a lot of good ones, they do tend to get superseded sooner or later. Right, I am going to want to make this whole array able to handle 2 sets of generators back to back, so I'm actually going to set up a 4x2 generator grid, I believe. Yeah, the higher tier conveyor belts, to further answer the question, Venus, the higher tier conveyor belts do move you faster for what it is worth. I'm wondering if I can't set up like a fancy receiver point, because I honestly still feel a little awkward having this thing coming all the way down here. So let's see what I can do. We'll start here. I see the main grid is down. Need to go refill that at some point. Actually use foundation blocks for this. Up to here. There we go. I guess probably the main thing to say about conveyors as transportation in Satisfactory is you relatively quickly do get forms of modes of transportation that are quicker than that are quicker than conveyors. So you'll probably find yourself not quicker and I guess require less setup and are more vertically capable than conveyors. So I'd say you find yourself relatively quickly not needing to rely on them to transport. Okay, I'm going to do a stackable pole here. Hook it up like that. I think that looks alright. And then there's a walking ramp for people, and then I can just quickly have the output conveyor down to ground level like so. Right, now 2 sets of coal plants back to back. Let's get this going. Power coal generators. So the outputs need to be on this side. I'll leave one foundation. One foundation of clearance should be enough to work with. One there. Do I need to... I'll move it slightly closer to the edge. Coal generators are a little massive. Not the biggest buildings in the game, but a little massive. That's one there. How many foundations am I going to need the other way? Okay, 2 more rows of foundations, roughly. And then 3 for the extra conveyance space. Right. So setting these up back to back. And yeah, that's enough space to work with. So I'll be setting up the first 4 generators. With a simple manifold, or I guess a split manifold technically. At this time. Because eventually I'm going to be running... Well, at the moment it's going to be first 8 generators, and eventually it's going to extend all the way down this line to 16 coal generators. Coal generators are also incredibly tall, just as a side note, and one of the things coming in Update 5 specifically is actually partial clearance, so that coal generators don't block off, will no longer block off a giant chunk of sky above them, and you can actually put things in the space around the chimney. Because prior to Update 5, pretty much all machines used I'm actually going to want to move these a little bit. Prior to Update 5, all machines used pretty much perfectly strict block clearance, which was a little awkward for machines with giant machines with complex arrangements, like the space elevator was something I always had issues with. Coal generators too, to an extent. So this is a really nice change that's coming. Okay, coal generators back to back with a little bit of space in between. Um, and I can daisy chain power lines down the middle. Right, I will. Let's finish building this row. 4x2, and this row as well. I'll control line it up from the. I'll snap line it up from the other side. That works better. There we go. Now let's get the power daisy chain going. So it's going to be a power line, and I'm gonna run it all the way down the middle here. I'll line it up like so, and essentially each line's going to hook up to the 2 generators adjacent to it, except I am going to break off this line because this generator is going to be the core generator. This generator is going to be on an isolated power grid designed never to shut down. It's going to directly power the water extractors and the coal and the coal miners required to run the entire power grid. And since it's on a separate power grid, if the grid ever goes over capacity, it should still remain online. There we go. That's the main power grid hookup. Well, initially ready. It's ready to daisy chain down to more as well. Now, to figure out the rest. Almost want to run conveyors underneath this, but I don't have access to the conveyor halls now, so let's begin. I shouldn't have clearance issues with my old conveyor setup like I used to, so I shouldn't need to fiddle around too much with these. Nice straightforward conveyor lift hookups. And it's just going. I'm going to make this a lot easier on myself to set up by not attempting to do a balanced feed of every single power plant. Although you could, if you want to see my setup for that, it's a very Factorio style setup designed to get power going immediately on reactivation. It basically predicated on the idea that you probably, if your power's down, you're probably being overrun and you need your laser turrets back up immediately. Very different setup. But a manifold works for a manifold absolutely works for Satisfactory. It just takes a little bit. It will just take a little bit to get going. Each of these coal generators, I believe, needs 15 coal a minute. So a Mark 1 will be able to handle each of those lines. That said, I am going to eventually extend each of those lines, so I'm just going to make these a Mark 2 immediately. The individual feeders only need to be Mark 1, however. Go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Yes, Venus, it does actually just take, it does actually take, essentially three, I do actually do it essentially with 3 splitters to to split it into it gets split into 2, and then 2 more split it into 4, and actually I think after that it's 5 splitters actually, if memory serves, to split it into 8. The tricky bit then comes into feeding 8 different conveyor stacks. Like, I have a fancy tower setup for feeding said conveyors into. In fact, because you know what, I might do it. I might do it anyway, just because it's fun to watch, and perhaps I like inflicting pain on myself a little too much. But the actual belt wiring, can you say belt wiring? The actual belt connections to that setup will have to wait a little bit. It should at least be a little less painful with the new soft clearance system, so I don't have to be as painfully strict. Or like, I don't have to be as painfully asymmetrical or awkward with how I arrange these things. That said, I just realized, no, I do actually have to be slightly... Okay. If I am going to do my stacking setup, I do actually need to extend these splitters out a little bit, because they have to... the bracing things for them have to fit cleanly over the pipes. So, let me just line that up. And that's 1 step out. So I'm essentially building a stack like that. 1, 2. Hang on, the top one actually matters. It needs to be facing the right way. 3, 3. 3, and I need more iron plate. So I suppose it's time to hit. Actually, do I have iron ingots on me? I brought some iron ingots on me specifically in case I needed to make things. So let's get I need more iron plate to make a craft bench so I can make more iron plate. Right, iron plate, let's go. What I'm probably gonna do actually is just I'll make the stack for demonstration purposes. So then I probably won't keep it. I'll go with a simpler manifold setup, because that has many expandability and other benefits in the long run. But basically, the setup requires the splitters to be arranged like this, 1 step out as well, because I have to run pipes along down here. So the supporting poles underneath the conveyors will clip into the pipes unless I'm very specific about the arrangement. Sometimes I'll have to explicitly hook conveyor belts into things like that. I tended to need to do that. And then finally, the actual setup itself, something like this. So this would be the setup for one coal generator, and then for each coal generator after the fact, I'd add one more stack on top, going out this way. Hang on. I actually do it like this. Yeah, one more coal generator out on top going out this way. And then I essentially do this. And that would feed down into the next. And then for 3, I then add another stack of conveyor poles. So this would be 3, that would be the feed. So you can probably see the picture here is I would have essentially a giant tower of 8 belts on top of each other, and then just have a clean pattern expanding essentially each coal generator would eat one tier of the tower and pass on the rest to the next. And that way it was all symmetrically expandable and cleanly split so that it fed each coal generator evenly. Because if you simply do a manifold setup, which is just the plain single line of splitters, the tricky bit about that is that the first generator has to fill up before the other generators will actually start getting their fill, because otherwise the first generator is going to take half of the entire input, and so on and so forth. It can be not ideal in some cases, but it's fine. Basically, a manifold input, it's very useful and satisfactory, and it just takes a while to spin up, practically speaking. That's all. All you have to worry about is that it takes a little bit to get going. I don't like that for power infrastructure, and that is why I built this kind of setup a bunch of times before. But you really don't need that in Satisfactory. You don't have a base constantly being overrun, or at risk of being overrun, or anything like that. So for Satisfactory, a manifold setup is fine. In fact, it can be a little satisfying as kind of watching your things warm up. But that said, I have had remarks that my giant tower was kind of fun and very cathartic to watch. The splitters would snake everything out around themselves as they went into a giant tower. Maybe I'll pull up a screenshot for you folks and put that on the Discord at some point. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, I know what's displacing it. There's the belt is hidden inside this conveyor lift, and it's spacing things out. There we go. As you can see from me trying to dismantle and even rearrange that, my setup takes a lot of time, and it does take a lot of extra time and pain to get that set up right. But just generally wasn't worth it, which is why I did not do it. Right, time to assign some build things. Okay, logistics. Pipeline. Pipeline cross, pipeline support should be on 4, and pipeline pump on 5. Let's get some pipelines going. I am going to, because the maximum throughput of a pipeline Mark 1 is 300 meters cubed of fluid per second. I believe we need 360. I think each of these needs 40. 45 a minute. 45 times 8 is I can use the calculator 360. So I actually either need 2 pipeline Mark 1s, or the kind of convenient way to do it is build things in a giant loop. So that there is enough water throughput for everything. And thank you, Venus, for the swift head math. That's very much appreciated. I have considerable respect for your head math skills. Now more as I set up the pipeline points for this, I can get to demonstrate another problem with my previous setup. Because if I set up the pipe, notice how the pipelines here, when I give them minimum spacing so they don't clip into the conveyor elevators, these lifts, are not lined up with the belts above. So, but for my setup, well, technically I could just pull down the poles. It would look kind of silly, but I could. It also makes it harder to maintain, though, because the poles actually have ladders which let you climb up and get to the things on top. Anyway, there's many reasons to need the poles, but the poles aren't aligned with the pipelines unless I carefully space the splitters one step out, which is what you saw me doing when I put that together to assemble. But basically, the point of my rambling all that is that's yet another reason I don't recommend my style of setup. It's kind of terrible. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Okay. That pipeline is nice and straight. I kind of want to build pipeline supports at regular intervals here just for the aesthetics. So you know what? I won't do that as part of the actual pipeline segment, however. So let me just draw the pipe segments straight across where they are useful. Can I actually get on top of this? Okay, cool. The crouch jump actually gets you a little higher, which I did not realize until relatively recently. Also, no, not you, Google. I wasn't talking to you. I'm not sure what you're referring to exactly, Venus, when you say looks fine to me, but I appreciate that. Okay, so let's put down some pipeline supports for aesthetics. I can actually put them in here. Does that cause any odd clipping? No, okay. That's purely aesthetic. No practical benefit to having pipeline supports there. But it just makes it look like the whole pipeline is supported rather than a bunch of it happening to dangle in midair. Now, all the water extractors are going to be on this side. In fact, let me put the water extractors on my build bar here. I want to make sure I actually have enough space for them without clipping into the terrain or any awkwardness like that. Okay, one water extractor. It clips into the terrain. I do not have enough space for all of them here. Okay, got it. Oh hey, there's a doggo friend. You're a better swimmer than me. You found me some iron ore. Nice, you're a good friend. So helpful. Ugh. Okay, I am going to need to build a ramp so I can get back up. What I'm actually going to do is build all the water extractors out this way then. And that should give me plenty of clearance to work with. Not that it strictly matters if they clip, because that's not really functional clipping, but it would bug me. Okay. So a little better. Right, I can't build anything while I am swimming. Yeah. So I'm going to loop the pipelines all the way around this side. Okay. This alignment to do it without clearance issues. I'll line up all the pipelines on the other side. Hopefully I have enough copper sheets for all this. No, I'm just about to run out of copper sheets. Okay. Lovely. Right. Well, with me running out of copper sheets, I better take a moment to hook up this output. So we need something like that here. And something similar here. And let's build a stack of splitters. 1, 2, 3. This is the splitter that actually matters. And may as well build another conveyor pole here where it looks nice. Aesthetic conveyor poles though. Okay. Conveyor lift Mark II, coming down 1, 2. Mark II conveyor going in there. Okay, actually not aesthetic. This one actually is used for guiding. These ones can go all the way straight through though. Through, straight through, and straight through. Now moving around the other way. Have something with much the same alignment. Okay, and this can just feed into the existing conveyors. So coal input should be working fine. That should be the splitter setup and everything rigged together. I am going to go ahead and get a custom swatch named and everything. Let's see. Kind of a yellow might be nice. Hang on, can I name this? Okay. Have the primary color be like a bright, bold, sharp yellow, yellowy orange. It's like, I guess the problem is that the existing colors are, you know, let's grit. Bright, kinda, okay, slightly darker red, and black. That's gonna be the edgy swatch. Wait, can I save that? Or I think the custom swatch is a one-time swatch. Okay, I'm going to borrow swatch number 15 for that. Bright bold red, and maybe with the secondary color as bright yellow. So bold red and yellow. This is going to be my indicator for critical power infrastructure. So that I can easily tell at a glance what's on its own isolated power grid. Like this power generator. Which I am going to need to feed the power line or over here. All the way upstairs here. And set it up to that miner there. Okay, it's long enough to go in one go. And I'm not sure exactly what you were referring to there, Venus, but I greatly appreciate it. Right, swatch 15. Bright red and yellow. And it's a lot less obvious on the power poles. Actually, the bright red helps a little bit. But there we go. There's the indicators for the priority power grid. That reminds me, this same priority power grid has to run all three of these water extractors. So let's get that going. Can I make this a straight line? How strict would it have to be to make it a straight? I kind of want it to be the same displacement for each water extractor, but I don't know how to measure that adequately. Okay, I'm just gonna... Actually, let me just draw the pipeline for each water extractor. You know what? Even better. And let me actually cut out some of these blocks to let the pipelines through. Okay, these bricks are gonna cause some some issues for my pipeline alignment now that I've actually put them out there. Grumble, grumble. Oh right, I don't have the copper sheets to get the pipelines going anyway. Okay, I'm actually gonna pull down the some of these stackable conveyor belts so that pipelines can run cleanly under them. Still be some conveyor poles close that can give the visual appearance of support. So it should be okay. Now, water extractors. 3 extractors pumping everything in a giant loop. And having them relatively close should be fine. So, were they aligned? Was that aligned straight on? No, it was not quite aligned straight on. Come on. Game. There we go, this should get it aligned straight on. The poles indeed will not... Well, the poles, if you align them correctly, Venus, fit neatly over the pipes as long as they're not at the intersection points or in the middle sections here, but over the thinner sections of the pipe, they will visually fit fine, and functionally they will fit fine as well. But the requirement is that they have to be aligned, and in this case they are not. So, it's a problem. You know what? If I do this the other way around, I can, build the pipeline out from here. And then make sure it's coming out straight. Just have to slide over the pipeline there. And while I'm at it, build the aesthetic thing. Pipe loop indeed. And the reason it needs to be a loop is that I need to pump 360 meters cubed per 360 meters cubed per minute of water through a pipeline whose maximum throughput is 300. So the loop means that essentially double the throughput can be used at any point, and it makes the whole thing actually deliver enough water. Right, water extractor. Now, hopefully, I can ask. There we go. That asks you to line up your output with the pipe there. A bit closer in, so that should work okay. Oh, you need to be further out, though. Still need to be further out. Yeah, there, how's that? Okay, that actually works. That is the correct alignment. I'm going to break down this pipe for now, since I have the connection points for it. Just so I actually have the copper sheets to lay down the other 2 water extractors. And I also need to move this ramp setup out of the way. because it's gonna be very obstructive for the pipes. I was originally thinking I could get away with doing the pipe rigging out over the water, and I still can, but I realize I don't want to. It's less neat. So I need to basically adjust the positioning of the bridge. This can stay where it is. Maybe. No, this all needs to be all needs to be moved a little bit over. Or I just need to find another space for the client point. Because right now the positioning is just too awkward. What I'll probably do is just build an improvised ladder. Right, improvised ladder time. Zoop. Hang on, further out. I don't have access to ladders proper yet, but stackable conveyor poles have ladders on them, which you can use to get up and down. And I realize I probably want to make these foundations look a bit blockier, mainly for aesthetic purposes as well. Okay. Now, one of the other things I wanted to do was color. One of the main things, rather, was color those three water extractors, because they are also key infrastructure, and I wanted to do the power hookups for them. So now that I know exactly where their pipes will come out, I just need to make sure I build the pipeline support in the right place for each one, and then I can use the pipeline support's position as a reference for where I put the power poles. And this whole roundabout exercise has specifically been so I can try and do so I can put the power poles in a consistent position. They are indeed round, guys, and yeah, pipes are not inherently directional, although you can install valves to make them unidirectional, or pumps also act as a valve. Although I think pumps act as a valve even when unpowered, as a rule. Let's get these colored for the swatch. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, these will run off the critical power grid, and they should produce 360 cubic meters of water a minute total. These draw 60 megawatts of power for the 3 water extractors, and then another 5 for the Minor Mark 1, that sounds correct. And the production here, 75, so we've got room for 10 more off the 1 core power grid generator if needed. So that should be the power for these pumps sorted. And the coal generator and basic hookup. Now I need to get the water actually connected to everything. So let's head back up. I'm gonna need more copper sheets. This will also be a chance to get the main power grid up and running again. I should probably chainsaw some more of these as well. Here we go. Getting some wood to feed to the hungry biomass burners. Oh, we've actually filled up the smart plating on the space elevator, which is nice. That's good. I'm not going to shut that down. I might hook it up to a sink, probably once I have coal power going. Getting that wood going. More chainsaw. Okay, that's a good amount of wood to have on me. Do I have... yeah, I have room to grab the quartz from here as well. I probably should have turned the... I should have used the copper ingots I had on me. Well, I need to go power up the main power grid anyway, and I may as well grab what copper sheets there were. In fact, now's probably a good time to clear the space taken up by flower petals for a little bit. So that's probably what I'll do for the moment. Do I have more biomass for you? No, I do not. Okay, let's get that fixed as a priority action. Turn some of this wood into biomass, actually. Quickly grab the leaves and wood out of here. Wood. I don't have any wood in here. Grab the leaves out of there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm just gonna load up a bunch of these with leaves again. Because they, I don't need any color cartridges at the moment. Okay. Power back online for now. And hopefully a bit more room in storage in a bit. Right, putting away the quartz. Iron ore and stuff I have on me. Okay, I've got leaves and wood. Let's make some biomass. Well, it's probably a good time for a break while all this biomass is processing. It does take a while to get through. It's going to take even longer for the leaves. So, I'm going to leave it here for the moment. I'll be back in 5 minutes or so with a full load of biomass, hopefully. And also, well, then I'll see about fetching enough copper sheet to get that coal power setup up and running. Thanks very much for watching, folks. Do remember to take care of yourselves, hydrate, stretch, grab some food if you need to. You are absolutely worth it. I'll see you after the break. And we're back. Thank you for sticking around, folks. Alright, let's get back to it. Let's get this coal power going. Got some copper sheets. Got some solid biofuel in the works. Got probably a little too much quartz. And I should run down to where the copper stuff is and go grab some more copper sheets if I could manage to. Let's see here. Cables I could use more of. Yes. Wires I could use some more of. Wires, I saw a red light this way. One of these machines is off. Why is that? No power. Oh. That's pretty self-explanatory. Let me squeeze in here. I think I must have accidentally cleared its power connection when I was rearranging stuff. There we go. And let's see how many copper sheets I have. That should be enough copper sheets to get the piping in order, hopefully. Let's get back over. Why is this? Oh, right. Iron plates would be backing up a little bit because we're not fully drawing the smart plating. Since I've got some spare stuff around, I guess. Okay. Back to work down here. And while I am on the way, I should run a power cable. Very important. To be the main power link to the core facility. This power cable is at maximum lengths. It's a bit of a bother. Okay, one here and one over here. What I'll do, pull this down, connect these two. This can power this machine and link to this. And this is a dedicated cable for the link downwards. How far can you go? Pretty far, it turns out. Although, oh, that is a little too close to the cliffside. Okay, power line runs there. I'll run it on the cliff there. And just, I guess we're going cross-country with this. Hello, Ro. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. I did indeed end up with an excellent quantity of biomass. And I have shoved it all in the machines of processing. So that's all good to go. For now, at least. Okay. Power line up on the cliffside here. I will compulsively cut down this tree because it's an electrical safety hazard now, even though that doesn't actually apply in this game. And, right. Let's run the power line down here. And I can put it parallel to this line. And what I'm going to do then is hook the line up to the main power grid, which is that one. The coloration's a little difficult to see in the shadow. I'm actually going to put these further apart, just a little compulsively. Okay, main power grid wired, core power grid separate. I'm actually going to break this and connect the whole power setup to the core power grid briefly to jumpstart everything in just a few moments. I also realize this is not at quite the right elevation. Let's fix that. So for 1, 2, 3, 4, that should be the right elevation. And then I can hook it at the same level. There we go. Unfortunately, biomass harvesting actually is one of the few things in Satisfactory that can't really be done sustainably, because actually, to an extent it can, but not everything grows back. There are a fair few things that don't actually grow back reliably, which is unfortunate. And that can be a bit of an issue for sustainability planning, I suppose. Okay, this core power grid power pole is clipping into things, and that's bugging me. I need to figure out a way around that. I'll probably end up putting it on this side of things, and as a side that has a side effect of separating it further from the main power grid. So that's fine by me. I'm actually gonna put it out all the way here. That makes the cable... Oh, the cable clips in a little bit. Hang on. 1, 2, 1, 2. That should be better. Okay. Although I'd get zapped climbing up that ladder, maybe. I'm going to nitpick about clipping a little bit longer. That'll do. That will do. Get that recolored. Connect that to the other elements of the core power grid. And in fact split up the line positioning for the core grid so that the lines overlap as little as possible. In fact, I'm going to potentially do something even fancier to separate these two power grids. I am going to change which co-generator is the core grid one. Let's go reset this to the default colors. So it's the left side A generator that's going to be the core grid one, and this is going to be the regular. That's all connected up there. Core power grid generator I'll then actually connect. If I can squeeze it without clipping, I'll actually connect out here. No, I cannot squeeze it without clipping. That's fine. It's still a cleaner hookup to have it on the left. Hang on. Where do I need to align it to avoid clipping with the same alignment? That's a bit closer, that's better. Hang on a moment. Again. There we go, symmetrically spaced around the... That's symmetrically spaced around the conveyor belt. Have the wire running over there. Except I want it to be further to the left, so I'm going to fiddle with things again. Oh, Ro, I missed your question, apologies. You a human or a robot in the game? I believe you are a very underpaid employee. So, a human, loosely speaking. Oh, well, less loosely speaking by most definitions. Loosely speaking by the definition of your employer, maybe. But you are a human. That is also true, actually. Robots can also be underpaid. I wonder if I can make this swatch more distinctive on a power pole, because I always have issues distinguishing power poles visually when they're not, just kind of due to the brightness limitations. Let's see, I can edit this swatch and have it all apply in post. So what if I made the dark red the backup color and the bright yellow the primary color? What if I switch that around? Okay, it makes it a bit more visually distinct. What if I made... in fact, the dark red doesn't feature that much at all. Okay, what if I made the primary color for that an egregious lime green? Okay, that's about as distinctive as I can get it. About as distinctive. If you're a human, where do you live? Ro asks. I will actually... I could potentially be... In fact, I'll take the time to show you, Ro, since you asked. May as well swing back to the hub and check on the fuel situation, since I will need that power to kickstart the main grid here. But you live in a structure called the hub. Is the short version. It has its own little little bunk beds and everything, and living space. Not super fleshed out as far as I can tell, but it is there. Zoom. We will be able to see in a moment, Ro, whether or not it has a bathroom. Is the world your bathroom? Okay, oh, this needs more biomass. Have some biomass. Okay, so your living quarters is around here. There's a couple of bunks, lockers, kind of kitchen area. There is indeed a bathroom of sorts. So, that is a thing. Someone is watching a video of a moose. And that's the hub. Let's put these nuts in storage as well. Okay, lots of biomass to be processed still. Solid progress. Waste disposal is important. I kind of feel like it should feed the biomass burners a little bit, though. Seeing as one of the principles here is that everything is recycled, nothing is wasted. Oh, that's not what I wanted to hit. Okay, let's pick up this ore. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Didn't really need to do that, but it still bugs me when that's left out there. I will be using the full 120 from a pure coal node, so let's make sure I remember to full clock to fully clock this miner back up to 100%. And let's get back to this. Okay, all of the conveyor work for this setup should be done. All of the electrical wiring for the setup should be done. It's just the piping I have to set up. Set up the piping along this side. Does that look correct? Yes, that looks correct. And I need to set up the piping along the other side. Yeah, I feel that, bro. The dream thing, especially. I have also been there. I have also been there. Okay, pipe bracing on the inside there. That makes sense. Connect that here. Make it nice and straight. Okay, that's as far as I can get the pipe to come. And connect it here. Yep, come on, let me up. Need to take a look. Okay, that looks relatively straight. Okay, let's get this whole thing looped around. Junction cross lined up there. Junction cross lined up there. And a junction cross lined up there. Okay, connecting pipes. Go, that's 1, 2 generators hooked up. This should be generator number 3. Connecting pipes in place. Generator number 4. Connecting pipes in place. And then let me get the aesthetic pipeline supports in place as well. One, 2, 3. And don't really need it for here just yet. Right, and now for the that's the feed for every coal generator should be in place. Now I just need to actually hook up the output here. Can I get a pipe this short? Yes, I can. Just need to get all of the junction crosses in place. In place there. In place there. The output from the extractors to the junction. Hook up the junctions to each other. It's ready for the loop. Essentially, we're pumping out 360 meters cubed total, and kind of the throughput does get split either way, so that we can still put that out despite Pipeline Mark 1's having a 300 meters cubed per minute limit. Rose says that animal looks like a really confused attempt at a frog. I'm assuming you're referring to those large I think I've seen them referred to as ticks. They're very casual, passive friends. They're adorable. And I suppose that is a reasonable assessment. Okay. I need you straight down here. Can I... How can I do with this turn? It's to be about there, and I kind of want to just keep it out of the way of the ramp so I can still get up if I get stuck in the water. That works, I think. Though it's probably not quite perfectly aligned. And that should be the whole loop around with every coal generator fed. Now for the big moment. I am going to wire the two power networks together for a jump start. Okay. Not enough to run everything. Right. I'm going to have to get back to base, or I could wire up something specifically to jumpstart. I could wire up something specifically to jumpstart the core system. That's an interesting fun fact there, Ro. Thank you for sharing. I imagine that causes many issues. Okay. Given the increased draw of the increased draw of the system as a whole, I'm going to break this connection to the main power grid. How much do these two burners generate? 20 each, right? I'm going to break the main power grid's connection to these burners' connection to the rest of the main power grid. And I'm gonna just directly wire them. Okay, so this is a jump start connection. Jump start only. When this is done, I'm going to have to connect this upstairs again and connect these two together. And I can break this lead here. Okay, let's go take a look at coal power system and see how it's coming along, and also take full damage. I imagine that is very much not comfortable. That does not sound like it would be. Okay, so this should be drawing 65 megawatts of power to run the base system. 5 megawatts for this miner, producing 120 coal a minute. now my health. And then 60 megawatts for all those water extractors together. Okay, easily getting the water throughput we need, that's good. And the core coal generator is running, producing. Okay, now I'm going to split these two networks, and there we go. This is pretty much permanently on. It's feeding itself water and coal, and it's consuming 65 megawatts capacity of 75. The core power grid is online, running the coal extraction and water extraction. So even if the main power grid goes off, this generator is going to stay on, and everything that actually runs the power output should stay on. Let's take a look at all the other generators. These two are on. These ones are waiting on coal because of the manifold feed. But they are running. They are running in spikes. Eventually, yeah, the capacity should get to 575 eventually, and should get the whole system online. Is it 575? 75 megawatts. Coal generator. 75 times 7. So I can just do it in game. Yes, 75 times 7. It's 525, and we evidently have another 50 megawatts of capacity hooked up at base, which I am going to start the process of breaking down now. Alright, coal power is go. And that's pretty much going to be set until I get Miner Mark II, at which point, well, Miner Mark II and Logistics Mark III will let me double the number of power plants in this array for even more electricity, which I am sure I will find a way to need. For now, this has been a huge jump in the base's power capacity, which is nice. And it's all being run along this one power line, so hopefully nothing pokes it. Wonder if I'll be able to, if I can put those on the power lines on lookout towers now. I'm actually gonna try that if I can. Lookout towers. Organization? Yeah. Put down a lookout tower. I know you can probably put catwalks on these now. Since they adjust the catwalk system, I don't have catwalks yet. Can I put power poles on this? Because honestly, that would make my day if we just had big long-range power pylons that I could get clearance over everything with. It doesn't look like I can at the moment, however, which is a shame. But oh well. Let's get on with the work. That's a big step getting core power online. I no longer need to constantly feed things. Let's hook up the main power grid again. I can break that connection. And I think I can formally and finally disconnect the burners. Perhaps I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but I'm gonna jump right to that. Shut down the burners, folks. And that means my inventory is gonna be full of flowers, I can feel it. There we go. Bit more room to work with. Now I don't need all those biomass burners. This is gonna have to get hooked back up. Connect those together. This connects to main grid here. And also this way. Wait, where'd that go? How'd that? I don't know how I managed to pull that off. But, oh I see, I shoved something in the gap there. Don't think that's meant to be there. Impressive that I managed to accidentally fumble that though. Okay, that's all hooked up. Got one dedicated burner. I may as well hook up both burners to my little personal manufacturing grid. Just so I have a use for things. Okay, that looks nice and clean. That looks fine. Ooh, you done processing biomass? Fantastic, I suppose. Well, leaves and wood. Let's get the let's get this these leaves made into biomass first. Let's go. Get that processing. And I should also make a few color cartridges. Cartridges. 50 should be a decent number to keep in reserve. I don't think I use them directly here though. Oh well, okay. I'll store the pedals and the color cartridges in here for now, so they don't take up too much space. Got iron ore I need to put away in here. My own personal manufacturing going just fine. It's over capacity a little bit actually, or by a lot. How about the main grid? If all the coal generators are running now, and they should be, I should just be able to fire the grid up. And we go, capacity 525 megawatts. Production matches that display. It's more than double the grid's current max consumption. Now running off coal power. Woo. Gonna celebrate that a little. By moving a bunch of stuff. Maybe. Might save that for the next time. I do want to move some stuff around. And I am doing a celebratory dance in my head. It's great to have coal power going. Very important step. Okay, biomass, make it from this wood as well, please. Fuel production is an important step. Have on the list. I do need to find some Caterium though. To work on this quartz. Strange alien metal ore. And just some stray coal sitting around. Which I should probably grab a bit more of for some sulfur research. Right, so how's that biomass making going? Fine? Excellent. I'll put this wood away for now. Need to make solid biofuel again. Let's get this biomass plugged in. And now I can save that solid biofuel for stuff like vehicles and chainsaw and other burny things. Why are these all held up? No power. Oh, some sections of the grid must have gotten disconnected. What do you get? Oh, they're all connected to this, which I apparently disconnected from this. There we go, back online. Woo! Coal power get. Feels good. And I can even see the coal power plant, or little bits of it from up here. Okay. Well, I think that is going to be a good point to leave today's stream. Thanks very much for watching, folks. It's been great having you. If you have had a great time watching me fumble around in Satisfactory, eventually I'll get to the trains and the cool stuff. Eventually. At least I have power now. And I don't have to constantly go chainsaw things. Okay. Let's run through my usual things. Gonna wrap up just a few moments. I will be streaming the same thing again tomorrow. That's Sunday the 21st at 0200 UTC. Definitely on a Satisfactory kick at the moment, so more Satisfactory happening then. Do come by if you like what you see. You can see my stream schedule down below. You can also see it on my About page. You can follow me at Dubious Physics on Twitter for announcements. Follow me right here on Twitch. I even have a Discord if that is your kind of thing. I'll put a link in the chat. I put announcements and communications and stuff in all those places. So hit whatever buttons you want. And yeah, that is going to be pretty much it from me for today. Once again, thank you very much for watching, folks. It's been great having you. Do remember to take care of yourselves. You are absolutely worth it, and I hope to see you folks in the future. This is Dubious Physics, signing off.